All right, y'all, back at the shop. We're opening today with Brian and this wonderful 5th gen 4Runner. We do a lot of these overland trucks. This is owned by a great customer. His name is Seth. Shout out Seth, thank you for your business. He's starting out on his overland adventure. Well, actually his overland build for his adventures, I should say. A couple of mods that we did prior to this one are some BF Goodrich KO2 tires. Today we're adding a small body lift, so this isn't a suspension lift, it's just a body lift, or basically a strut lift or a spring lift, right? So we're adding just a small spacer right here, right on the shock tower. So lift up the body. You're going to keep the original suspension. It's a little more cost-effective way to do it. Really awesome roof rack right on the top of this. It goes through the whole entire roof, so this way you can carry a lot of cargo, which is definitely a must on your overland build. Some awesome, I believe they're Morimoto headlights. So these headlights are great. They're LED headlights with a triple projector inside of it and a switchback turn signal. And we have some yellow fog lights as well. So we got these Toyo all-terrain tires. My man Brandon's gonna be mounting them up on these Pro Comp wheels. Thing is with these wheels, these are steel wheels, not very common. Steel wheels are old school style. Most wheels nowadays are gonna be aluminum, but they still do make steel wheels. These are maybe a 15 or 16 inch wheel, low offset. It's gonna go really good on our little truck build. But whenever these steel wheels ship, they're very heavy, they're not packaged the best, so a lot of times you get a little damage right out the box. But again, this is more of like a throw-on wheel or like a wheel just for function, so a lot of times the customers aren't too mad about that. They're going to thrash them anyway. But what we want to do now is make sure we take some photos and video to send them to the customer before we start mounting and balancing and doing anything, so that we know and they know that it came out the box that way and it wasn't something that we did. Brandon's very smart, came up to me and he was like, yo Brett, check this out. I got to tell you off the rip. And that's the best thing we can do with our technicians here, have good communication. You know, hey Brett, this is weird, this doesn't fit. They let me know, I let the customer know, and everybody's good. There's no surprises in the end. You know, this looks great though. Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry. Boom. Boom. Do me a favor. Any ones that come out that look a little funky, just shoot a little cell phone pic. Alright. And what I'll do here is take a little video for the customer as well. Alright. We have the CRV wheels going in. These are steel wheels. You do have a little shipping damage here and there. Again, not the worst thing in the world, but we just want to let you know, brother. So that's cool. In the end, when we get them mounted up, sometimes the tires are going to bulge so fat that you won't even see that. But if you do in the end, then what we can do is simply we'll just take a little black paint. Yeah. I'll tell the customer anyway, dude, we dabbed them up for you. We touch them up. It's going to be fine. So what we have behind me here is a 2002 Mitsubishi Montero. This is a vehicle that I purchased myself a few months ago. A very clean vehicle. The whole idea was to build this up for overlanding. I do a lot of overlanding, a lot of camping, a lot of off-roading, so I needed something a little more capable than what I had. So we went with the 2002 Mitsubishi Montero. Not the most popular vehicle, but she's very capable. Quick little story about this car. We bought it. It was super clean. I was cruising down the highway to work a couple months ago, and one of the lines burst that went to the oil cooler, and the motor ran dry. So my motor was toast. That sucks for me, right? But I had a good buddy of mine who has a shop up the block. His name is Lou. Shout out to Lou if you're watching. He helped us rebuild the motor, do all the hardcore maintenance to get us back on the road. Now the truck is back in the shop. It's probably been off the road for almost 3 months. I've owned it for maybe 5 months, so I hardly got to drive it, rather. And she's back, so we're really excited. At the end of this week, well, beginning of next week, so Sunday morning, Will and I from sales, I don't know where I just left off, but anyway, this poor truck, motor got smoked on me. Everything's super clean. I was really confident. We did all the maintenance, everything you can imagine, but this one hose that we looked over was actually the death of me. So basically, motor rebuilt. We're back here a few months later. At the end of the week, we're doing a shop overland trip. We're going to New Hampshire, the top of New Hampshire, which borderlines Canada. We're going to go from the Canadian border all the way down. It's called the Trans-New Hampshire Expedition. We're very excited. We found the route online. 500 miles, most of it off-road. So we're going to be very excited for that. So its maiden voyage is actually this trip. So I'll be driving 500 miles, doing 500 miles on the route, and then 500 miles home. So about 1,500 miles in 4 days. So I'm really hoping that she can keep up, and she's going to be reliable and okay, and doesn't leave me stranded out there. So basically we have these next 3 or 4 days just to build this up to a level that it's going to be capable of doing this overland trip. So We started out yesterday with a lift kit. We did half of it. So I like to do my work after hours, just so all the customers get their stuff done, and we stay late and we finish it up. So tonight we're doing the front of it. So the rear is already done. What else are we gotta be doing? We have a dual battery setup, which is really cool. I wanna show you guys under the hood. We're using 2 Odyssey batteries here for a dual battery setup, so I can have a power bank while I'm camping out, so I don't spill over to my initial battery for starting purposes. What else are we doing on this bad boy? Oh, a roof rack we're gonna be adding, which is really cool. I'm gonna make a makeshift little bed setup in the back so I can crash for the night while I'm on the road and on the trails. And that's about it. Just basically basic modifications to get me off road right now. And then when we come back over the next couple of weeks through the winter, we're gonna be building it up. I don't really have a concrete build plan yet, so I don't wanna get too heavy into it. So later on I end up contradicting myself with certain parts. So right now, lift kit, wheels and tires, dual battery setup, and roof rack, and that's gonna pretty much get me out into the woods and get me going. So really excited for that. Stay tuned. This is my personal truck. Really hyped for this. Not a lot of people with the Montero platform here on the East Coast. There's a few on the West Coast, but in its entirety, it's not a very popular platform. So we're really excited to build this one up, something different, something custom. So right here, we're under the hood of the Mitsubishi Montero, and this is my primary Odyssey battery. My secondary battery's over there. My man Bruno, kick-ass technician here at the shop. He's finishing this job up for us. He made a custom battery tray. He's wiring everything up here. We're also using this Red Arc isolator. So what this is going to allow me to do is to connect these 2 batteries in unison, and then no, it's all right. It's all right. No, it's cool, dude. Don't worry. It's all good. You know? It's a shop. You know what are you gonna do? So this Red Arc isolator right here, what this allows me to do is connect these 2 batteries together, and then when the ignition is off, it actually just pushes all my auxiliary functions to the second battery. So I can use that while the vehicle's off. That can drain all the way down. I can use that for a few days, no problem, but it'll never spill over into the first battery, so it'll always be there for me to start the car. So this is very, very good. You don't want to be running all your auxiliary stuff off your primary battery, especially when you're 10, 20 miles into the woods. You kill your battery, there's no one there to jump start you. So it's important, to do this stuff correctly and safely. So we're using Odyssey batteries and a Red Arc setup, integral to any overland build. I don't care what you say, wheels, tires, all this stuff is great, but having your power bank set up is super, super important, especially if you're gonna be running things like refrigerators or any kind of lighting, power tools, chainsaws, anything. So very important to have that battery bank set up. Awesome. Thanks, Trin. That's crazy.
You got the power for the light on the top?
That's the OEM panel.
Yeah.
Wait,
Nice.
Look on the top.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Light.
I got my little light back here. Boom. So I got one switch right here to control a little lighting when I'm cooking, setting stuff up when I'm camping. Right here we have our battery voltage. So this reads the second battery, how much voltage I have left on that. And then we have USB inputs. And then we even have a 12-volt socket for the refrigerator. So this is all built into this little panel. This is an OEM panel, super easy to replace if I have to. And it looks great, dude. This looks great.
if I didn't know any better, I'd be like, man, you'll talk cable like that?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh, what was that, blue steel?
All right, another project we're working on today. Jeep Wrangler, JLU. So this is the new Wrangler. It's a 2020. Customer just purchased this from Utah and had it shipped directly from Utah to the shop. Some of our customers don't even want to hit the street with stock vehicles. They just want it modified right away, and that's where we come in. So JLU 2020 Rubicon in red. A couple of modifications here that we got. Obviously, lift kit, wheels, and tires is like the #1 thing that people usually do to their Jeeps. I call it the trifecta. The lift kit, wheels, and tires, suspension, and the tire carrier. Those 3 things all go hand in hand, so he has that going on here, plus some other accessories. The lift kit we're using is just a 2-inch lift kit from Mopar, so this is actually a dealer-friendly lift kit that we access through Jeep, which is really cool. So you can have the Jeep, modified here, and then when it's taken for service, your warranty is still, held in high regard, and they'll be able to honor that for you, having the original parts in the truck, which is wonderful. There are a couple of aftermarket parts here too, but they're really not part of like the drivetrain or anything like that, so you're pretty good. For one, we have a Fab 4 steel front bumper, For the rear, we also have a matching Fab 4 steel bumper that has provisions for the parking sensors. The side steps are also Fab 4s. We're using rigid LED lighting. We have 4 cubes on the windshield, 4 cubes as fog lights for the Fab 4 front bumper that are controlled from the OEM fog light switch, which is awesome. If you check out the bumper too, the front has a provision for a 20-inch light bar. We're using a rigid light bar. Now all these lights are from Rigid and they're all part of the same series. This is called the Rigid Radiance series. So these obviously produce a really strong white LED spot on the road. You get a lot of bright light on the road, very, very super clear. But the cool thing is it has this double option where you have this like illuminated background, almost like a demon eye. So you can hit a separate switch and these lights will actually glow a selected color, whether it be red or blue or green. Obviously for this truck, red would be pretty cool. I think amber would be nice too, but for this truck we went with the red. And you'll hit a separate switch and all of these lights, so all 4 cubes on the windshield, 4 cubes in the bumper, and the 20-inch light bar will all glow with a nice red hue. So it looks really clean coming down the road in like dusk or early in the morning. It's pretty cool. Front grille was originally painted, same color, color matched. We just swapped it out for a satin black Mopar grille, so it's OEM. It's just matte black, or satin black I should say. It goes really, really well with the front bumper. So it gives the front like a really aggressive look. The fenders are also OEM, but the fenders actually on these trucks kind of have like a double lining. So we removed the bottom lining of this fender and we replaced the front turn signal with a Quake LED switchback. So this turn signal will work as a DRL during the day, super bright white. And then you'll have an amber turn signal that's sequential, so it'll actually move across the fender, so it looks pretty trick. Let's see what else we're doing. The wheels are great. These are Moto Metal wheels. We're doing a 20x12 on this truck with a 37-inch tire, 13.5 inches wide. We're using a Nitto Ridge Grappler, which is a phenomenal hybrid tire. Probably one of the more popular tires that we sell here. Also the BF Goodrich KO2. Shout out to that tire, kick ass as well. If you look out back, we're using a MagnaFlow axle back exhaust. Just matte black with a dual tip, nice and clean, just makes the back really nice and symmetrical when you have that rear bumper on there. It looks really good. So this truck came with a hard top. Soft top is a huge upgrade. If you don't get it through the dealer, it's a very popular thing that we can offer aftermarket. We're doing a best top, soft top on this truck. So this way in the summer, he can drop the top, have the convertible style, and then close it up. This soft top is a 4-season soft top. So it is made to run through the winter as well. It has a little better sound deadening, so it keeps the road noise out, and it keeps the insulation. The insulation's a lot better, so it keeps the heat trapped inside. So the soft top we're doing on this truck, you can actually rock it all year round. But obviously the hard top is the way to go in the winter, but it's cool to know that you have a top for 4 seasons. So this is the tire carrier I was talking about. If you see, made by Rugged Ridge, it's called an HD heavy duty tire carrier with tire carrier mount. So this bracket right here, this brace replaces the hinges that are there originally, and it beefs up the door, allowing it to hold the weight of a larger wheel and tire. Just to give you an idea, these 20-inch wheels with 37-inch tires could be anywhere from maybe 160 to 170 pounds, give or take, so it's quite heavy. So you want to make sure you have a good hold on that for the spare. So we have that going on. Now, the insulation on this is a little more involved than it would be on a JK, just because the JLs do have the factory backup camera here, but this kit kind of accounts for that. So you still get your mount, you get everything sleeved over, nice and clean. So this way when the wheel sleeves over, this part will come through the center cap, and then you'll still have your backup camera. So this kit keeps everything factory OEM. You don't lose anything, you just gain, which is the way to go. One of my favorite things about the Rubicon is this kick-ass auxiliary switch panel. So these are blank switches designed for you to add your aftermarket accessories to an OEM dash, which is wonderful. So the way we're going to set up this vehicle is the 4 squares I have mounted on the windshield, the rigid LED lights are going to be run to auxiliary 1. That 20-inch light bar is going to be run to auxiliary 2. And the ambient lighting, that red backlight we were talking about, is either going to be run to 3 or 4. But I think this is great because it cleans up the interior a lot. A lot of the JKs, there's definitely aftermarket pieces that make it look like OEM Plus to incorporate switches, but generally it does have an aftermarket look in the end. This is totally factory, and I think they really were thinking ahead when they designed this truck. Really, really cool. Now, these switches usually come on the Rubicon. If you have a Sahara or if you have a Sport and you don't have that option, it is possible to upgrade that. We are able to access this panel from the dealer and do the install for you. So anybody out there watching, if you don't have the Rubicon, it's okay, and you still want this setup, it can be done. So check us out, we'll help you out with that too.
Yeah, let's throw a fresh take.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Just want to say thank you everyone for joining us on another episode of The Daily Grind here at the Custom Shop in Astoria, Queens. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, we would really appreciate you subscribing. Drop a like, drop a comment, and share this video with your friends. If you have any questions, leave them below. We'll make sure to try to answer them in the next video or maybe post some content that has to do with it. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. See you on the next one. All right, let me know when you're ready, Pappy.
Dude, I'm always ready.
He's always ready. He's always ready. Tim! Peace, Tim. That's it. All right, guys, that wraps up another day here at the Custom Shop. Thank you for tuning in.